Thanks for joining us for today's Northern Ag TV. Well, for today's episode, we visit with Russ Princ, the U.S. and Global Cattle Sales Manager for Leachman Cattle Company. Leachman's, of course, need no introduction in this area. They've excelled in the beef industry for over 75 years with genetic improvement, innovation, and their reputation as one of the world's most respected seed stock operations. We visit with Russ, who shared a little bit about the history of Leachman Cattle.
Yeah, it started in the 70s with Jim Leachman, which would be Lee Leachman's father, in Montana in the 70s. Prior to that, the family started actually in New York with Angus in New York, moved to Montana. Then in the early 2000s, the program operation moved to Colorado. Since then, here 2 years ago, Leachman Cattle was acquired by URUS. URUS is a global cattle business that owns Alta Genetics and Transova, Genex, mainly on the semen side of things. The big part of that is our Leachman Cattle stabilizer genetics are going into dairy programs today for their beef on dairy programs.
Leachman Cattle Company hosts several production sales throughout the year with lineups including Angus, Charolais cattle, and more. Russ gave a preview of Leachman's sale next week in Meriden, Wyoming, their Fall Roundup bull and female production sale.
We got an outstanding lineup of cattle in this, what we call our Fall Roundup Sale in Meriden, Wyoming at our new headquarters. So we're dispersing our mature purebred cow herd. Everybody's, well, are you getting out of the purebred business? And the answer to that's no. We're making more room for an embryo transfer program. So with that being said, we're getting rid of 80 of our Charolais purebred cows, 35 of our Red Angus cows, and 45 of our Black Angus cows. And that's the big part of the sale. We're also going to have 165 bred stabilizer heifers there that were AI bred and then actually cleaned up with a lot of our AI bulls. We are also having 40 Charolais bulls and 29 stabilizer bulls.
Russ Princ, the U.S. and Global Cattle Sales Manager for Leachman Cattle, shared a little bit about some of the new work and projects they're doing on their operation at the new headquarters in Meriden, Wyoming.
Big thing here of recent is our feed intake. We're feeding a lot of these beef on dairy cattle. We have 253 the feed intake, Vitale feed intake bunks there. That's the largest installation in the world. We feed intake more cattle around the globe that feed into our dollar profit system that anybody else can even come close to. Intake's the big thing, and really now it's going into the red meat yield where we're measuring, our bulls, cattle at the feedlot, cattle in the feedlot in Canada as well for getting that laser measurement of an animal that is more than just doing ultrasound for ribeye. We're measuring the whole animal for red meat yields.
As always, you can view the upcoming sales catalogs and learn more about Leachman Cattle at their website, leachman.com, or contact any one of their sales representatives. For today's Northern Ag TV, I'm Colton Young, Northern Ag Network.